Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
You know, we gotta try out whatever our new
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
All right, let's get this thing under roll.
Definitely.
You don't know why I'm putting stand up on there, right?
Why is that?
Wow.
The month.
Stand Up Arkansas. Yeah. I wanted to use that song for something. At least, like if I ever get a walkout song,
Yeah.
I'm coming out. Stand up. Anyway,
I'm definitely rocking with it for sure.
what's that?
I'm definitely rocking with it.
Oh, but okay. Hey, what's your walkout song? You can't take mine now.
Oh man, I don't even know. There's so many songs to choose from.
No,
to be honest.
Okay, y'all be thinking about it. I'm going to intro us in. Y'all, as soon as we get done with this, let's talk about what your intro song is so y'all can think about it, look on your playlist. But hey, we're Checkers. And this is the inaugural podcast. And we are in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I'm just going to introduce myself. And y'all just tell us why you're on the show, why you're here, and y'all, and what you want to tell the people. What can they expect from, because so they know who we are. Let's just let people know who we are. My name is Steve. I am the granddad of the group.
Literally.
So, I just want to get people connected. I'm all about having platforms where people can tell their message and find other people and connect more networks. I'm all about finding people, Right. So that's me. I'm Steve.
Me?
Yes, you're
Of
next
course, me.
chance.
Hello, my name is Chance. I'm on this podcast because I love hearing myself talk. I mean,
Hey, at least he's honest.
Who amongst us isn't?
No. I saw, I do podcasting a little bit here and there. I saw an opportunity to get a podcast going with some of the coolest people I know at the time. So, why not come along? I'm all here for the experience. That's really all I can say. I'm just letting life take me along.
Amen.
Real.
Hey, if it's Checkers, that means Roan's got to go next, right?
I'm here. I honestly couldn't tell you exactly why I picked up this project, but I think it mainly has to do with my anxiety about the future, to be honest with you. I want to work through what I'm going to think about, how my life's going to work out. I want to work through this administration. I want to work through the political consequences of the last few years, and I want to work through all of the social and cultural issues that I think are facing us. And I guess my motivation is very similar to yours, Steve. I think that bringing people together is what causes liberation. It's what we can build to build to freedom.
So if y'all are out there listening, trying to figure out who plays what role, y'all just got the intellectual guy. You can tell by what he said.
Definitely.
Yeah, Roan, I'm excited about it.
I'm also here to keep people as real as possible and keep people in check.
That's real.
You know what? Yo. Well, my name is Zay. Well, really Xavion, but call me Zay. I really helped out with this project because I love podcasting. I love having my voice be heard out there for people and to basically make a change, even if it's through media or just audio. Just want to make a change and probably become a future politician. Gotta help change the world somehow.
Oh, that's a good reason.
That's fire.
Right. I thought of that on the spot, y'all.
He's over there working. He got to go last, so he's like 3 points. He's the speaker.
Right.
He's like, I got to give the intro 3 points.
And hold on, his writing is fire.
No, that's why I love impromptu speaking. Like I get to hear other people talk first. I'm like, okay, baby, I'm gonna just take that, a little bit of that, a little dab of this, American style.
Put it on. Hey, I know we'll tell people what this is about, but before we go, since we're here,
Right.
I got to know how it went at Mount St. Mary this last Saturday. I was wanting to go so bad, and I was in a meeting that literally just went long, and then I went and played golf at the whatever that place is out there.
Topgolf?
First time I went. It was awesome.
Oh man, Topgolf is an amazing place to go. I had their donut holes where you can like put the strawberry and cream.
Raspberry and cream.
Yes.
That's what I had.
They're so good, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
Hold on, at Topgolf?
Yes. And then the chicken wings are they're fire. Okay. My bad. I love food.
Topgolf, please sponsor us.
Please.
Hey, and y'all don't have to give us money. We just want to come out there and play. And we'll talk more about Topgolf. But the next day, Kelly was like, God, I don't know what's wrong with me. My back hurts. And I was like, mine does too. And I thought I'd pounded in some T-posts that day, like, no, we'd play golf for like 2 hours.
Oh, the man of the hour.
What's going on? Did I break up?
No, just jump on, get a seat. We've already started. We haven't got a song or anything yet for the show. So I did what I said my walkout song was going to be.
Okay.
And, Stand Up by Bob Marley, of course.
Nice.
And so while we're doing the intros, and we're going to talk about, they had competition at Mount St. Mary's this Saturday.
Okay.
And we're going to all talk about what our walkout song would be. So you can be thinking about
I can think about it. All right.
But,
I still gotta think about
but in
mine.
a second, we want you to introduce yourself. And just tell you why you're here.
Sure.
Okay, so I did 4 events. Okay, I know now not to do 4 events. Some of them. Okay, so I did informative, impromptu, oratory, and I did dual improv with my boy Chance over here.
For the first time, right?
Right.
Wow.
For the first time.
And I'm gonna say duo improv was the best, even though because me and Chance got 5th place. Chance ended up pulling one of my shoulder muscles and throwing a chair. Not throwing. He swung a chair at me. It's crazy. He also took my shoe off and my sock flew all over. And he did a lot.
You're not making me seem like a very good person.
Chance is more, and it was even crazier. When we was on our way back from the tournament, Chance also sliced the side.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
He was beating me up all weekend, y'all.
The trophy is a safety hazard. The trophy has spikes, and we're climbing out the same car, and I accidentally jabbed it into his nose. It got a little messy.
Gosh.
I'm fine though, y'all. I didn't even know I was bleeding until I just saw wait,
He
something's
got
running.
out, and I was looking at him like, whoa.
It wasn't that bad, y'all. But my other events, I didn't do so well. My informative, I did good. I talked about why. My question was, why can't black men love black women? Which is a topic that always been talked about in the black culture. And I just went into depth about it. And I ended up not making it to semifinals, but it was a great opportunity for me to speak on the topic. And then my oratory was peer pressure and how parents put too much pressure on the child because your oratory is supposed to be something that's related to you and how you feel about it. I didn't do too well in that one, and then my other one, what's my other one? Impromptu. My topic was Skittles. I choked up on Skittles. I was so mad. And I was like,
Is it 2 minutes or 3?
I was 7 minutes. You have
7 minutes.
You have to do
it's
this. You got to get
almost
the
at the
thing,
end.
get it. Put together.
And your time starts running as soon as you start
So how long did
writing.
you talk and how long did you prepare?
I prepared for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds exact because I love this. That's my usual time. It's a routine. And then I talked for at least 3 to 5 minutes depending on what the topic is. Because I had it down, I had it all memorized. And then when I walked up there, I got nervous because I was thinking about my informative, my oratory, doing improv. But the good thing that came out of it is that our school got a 3rd place sweepstake. Amazing. And me and Chance got 5th place in dual improv because we're the GOATs.
And that 3rd place sweepstakes, they usually separate them from big and small schools. They didn't this time around, and we're 3rd place. And considering that Cabot was 1st, I mean, I would
And
say
Conway.
Mills
Cabot
did
and
pretty
Conway.
decent.
Yeah.
They all try hard. I'm telling you, they always have 60 to 70 people at each tournament. Wow. And that's only for the high school. That's not counting the west or the south.
Wow.
The middle school.
Wow.
I didn't do as many events as Xavion here. I did 2, do it improv with him where I abused him maliciously every round. And
It was worth it though. We got 1st place literally in the prelims. Me and him got ranked number 1.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it was worth it though, even though it hurt.
the second event that I did was impromptu speaking, which is, the main thing that I love doing. First round was snacks. I mean, he got Skittles. I got Takis. Not a Taki lover myself, but, I can sure lie that I'm a Taki lover for my speech.
Oh, did y'all have to sell the product?
Not sell the product, but basically impromptu speeches
Anything.
are
you can
made.
just talk about it in any way possible.
And they're made better when you can relate them to yourself. So, I had to play up a funny little story about my crazy Taki addiction, not...
And you don't even like them.
I hate
I
spices
had
in
a Skittle
general.
addiction.
So funny.
Second round, I don't even remember what the theme was. No, it was fortune cookies.
Fortune cookie, yes.
The thing that I got was focus on your activity and you will see progress. I mean, focus on one thing and you will see progress.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
in a time like this for me, where I'm just feeling so overwhelmed by like absolutely everything,
Yeah,
that was like the perfect thing for me to get. And finals, I made it to finals, went to preliminary, semis, and then finals round. It was, the overall topic was spill the tea. And the smaller topic that I got was school gossip. So literally like nothing better for me. And, you know, I made it to the trophy case, and I ended up getting first place in impromptu speaking.
Nice. Congrats.
This is our Boys Nation candidate or representative right now.
Yeah.
Now I see it's the speaking. And you know, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Chris Jones, Pine Bluff native, rocket scientist, Morehouse grad, MIT grad, girl dad, husband of 22 years, black love. And my wife's a ER doc and an Air Force veteran, Howard grad herself. She went to Harvard Med School. I went to MIT grad school, and I was the 2022 nominee for governor, first black major party nominee for governor in Arkansas's history. And I'm a very good friend of Steve's.
Well, and I'll bet you, and I know the answer to this. You've walked up to give a speech and just completely forgot what you were supposed to say.
Because you were talking, I'm chuckling because literally, so I ran for DNC vice chair, Democratic National Committee vice chair. And in our first forum, I completely forgot my opening. And then when I was debating Sarah, and I was halfway through my opening, my closing, and my mind went blank. So I get it. It happens. Okay. That was on the national stage. It happens.
You know, if a professional is having stuff, I know I'm good in good hands.
So why are you here? Why did you want to come join us today? This is inaugural, so you haven't heard us yet. So there had to be a reason you're like, I'll join.
It's definitely an honor.
Well, look, because trust, right? I mean, I trust Steve, and if Steve says this is a place that is going to be a good space for folks, and connection. You know, I connected to Rhone. I know that you all, if you're doing something, it's going to be fun. If you're doing something, it's going to be good. So I want to be a part of this. That's why I'm here.
And I bet he doesn't.
Have you.
I bet he doesn't even know that he's met me and Xavion too.
I do.
Okay. You know,
I just said it's going to be fun, didn't it?
Yeah, no, I know. Seeing you guys up there, like, overwhelmed immediately. Like, I go up there, and like, it's like 10 people in front of me. I'm like, okay, let me just real quick shake his hand and get out of his face.
Yeah. It was quick. It was real quick. We'll fix that.
So did you ever go to Boys State and governor school?
Yeah, I did Boys State. Mm-hmm. And here's a funny thing. I was at Boys State with Senator Tom Cotton.
Ooh. Oh my God!
Right. We were in the same class. Yeah, exactly.
Bro. we have a little bit of issues with Tom Cotton. A little bit.
You're not
I was
the
just
only
hating
one
on Tom before this episode started, bro.
You're not the only one, man. Look, I think he's ripe for the picking. What you think?
If you're asking me, I saw you look over at me.
I looked over at you.
I think we have some work to do.
Yeah,
is the answer. It is time.
It's time.
It's been time.
Yeah.
But Arkansas is not ready.
No.
We got to get Arkansas ready.
No.
Hey, real quick before we go any further, I want to put y'all on the spot. I want to know your walk-up song.
Okay.
So y'all had time. And you're going to tell me, and then you're going to walk
play
up.
it?
I'm playing it. And you're going to, it's your walk up.
Nice.
Come on up and say, I am Chance, and I'm whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Good question, man.
What do you do?
Okay. I know this is one of my favorite songs. It's called Diamonds and Pearls by QK Rhone.
Okay.
And you got to start from the beginning. Like, ooh. It's just
You want from the beginning?
yes, it's the build up. Oh, wait, that's not it.
Oh, what's up? Oh, that's Prince. That's my
Yeah, I was like,
generation.
that's not.
Wait,
That's not what he's talking about.
I know about Prince.
Oh, yeah. Okay, who did it?
QK Rain, like Supreme Rain.
Q space?
No. QK Rain, like all together. REIGN.
Oh, got it. I'm going to play explicit, so here we go.
I'm gonna play explicit.
It's the end. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Checkers. It's your boy Zay. Here with Chris Jones, Chris, Rhone, and Steven. We're all together. It's all about us. We're going to have an amazing conversation because you know why? We're the GOATs. Best people ever. Let's get it started, y'all. Oh, man.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I like it. I like it.
I like it. He had that big white voice.
Yeah.
He came in there like,
Turn on
Learn
that
from
red.
Broadway Joe.
Turn on that red.
Shout out to Broadway Joe, y'all.
Who's next?
I'll be next. So we were listening to Pink Floyd on the way over here.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah,
really
yeah.
tempted to choose a Pink Floyd song, but I think what I'm actually going to go with is a Gorillaz song. I don't know. Do you all know
This
the
is fair.
Gorillaz?
No,
Oh,
of course.
So there's this one song, and it's not super popular. It's called Opium, and it has like a slow build up, but then when it gets going, I swear it wakes me up on any day, no matter what.
I think we all got that type of song.
Nah, for real.
Okay, are you ready for the walkout? Y'all got to talk a second because it didn't just come up.
You may want to like skip, I don't know, 15 seconds in.
Shall
Yeah.
we word?
What is that?
Is it just the build up or is there something crazy in that first 15 seconds?
No. It's the build. Rhone Kuda speaking. I'm here, and I'm here to keep people real. Here to keep the humanity in the room. Keep the money out.
Snap.
Drop.
Snap, shout out that snaps.
Okay, who's up?
Cheers.
You might as well. I would say my walkout song would be hard to give commentary over, but definitely King Kunta by Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
I feel like right now I feel that song more than anything.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey mouth much sitting in my throne again.
Not at all. The reason this song means so much to me right now is because it seems like every time you guys put somebody in the throne, it's the wrong guy not meant for the seat. Maybe it's time for me to step in.
There it is.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking King Kunta. Everybody wanna cut the legs off him.
All right.
Nice. All right. So look, oh man, I got several that I would want to walk up on, but I'm gonna tell you one that I was listening to a lot this past weekend when I was in Maryland running for the vice chair position, and it's Eminem's "Not Afraid." Yeah, yeah. We'll play it, then I'll say something about it.
It's been a ride. I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one.
Hey, it's Chris Jones.
Might still be in that place.
And that's what it's about, walking this road together. Look, we're in a moment where we have to take a stand and we can't be afraid. And that's why I'm here to say, let's walk the road. Let's get it done.
But you won't take this thing out these words before I say them. Cause ain't no way I'm gonna let you stop me from causing
Let him cook.
I'm not going to do a walk up. Well, you know what? Chris needs to at least get the feel. I'll do my walk up. Why not? I have to do something. I was just going to give the mic over to some other people to talk for a little bit. But, I'll do my quick walk up because I've been, like I said before you got here, I've been wanting to do this walk up for a long time to something.
Yeah.
So at least I got a shot. You know, I feel like this can get everybody.
That's it.
Because, you know, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Stand up
everybody can
for
relate,
your right.
right? I'm a stand up Arkansas, and it is time to get some work done across Arkansas, bring people together, find some common interests, see things that we all want to do together. There's been a lot of division. It's time to bring it all back together. And the only way to do that, stand up.
Right.
Stand up, Arkansas. Stand up.
Nice.
All right. So, take it away. Checkers.
Okay.
Hey.
So what are we going to begin with? You like to begin us, Ron?
I think that do we want to really get to know Chris Jones, or do we want to put him in the hot seat off the bat?
Wait, whoa. We need to get to know Chris Jones. He's our guest.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Alrighty. So, you say you grew up in Pine Bluff.
I did.
So, how was it like growing up in the Bluff area?
Man, it was great. And so not only growing up in Pine Bluff, but the window of time I grew up in I think it was a unique window of time where from a global standpoint, we had dealt with a lot of tensions and issues, and at least some of the ideas and practices were being put in place, and nationally as well. So you think about segregation.
Right.
I was one of the first classes to enter kindergarten as a mixed class, whites and blacks together. One of the very first ones. So that and we, look, we were Generation X. We were latchkey kids. So we had keys when we walked home. We cooked for ourselves. Our playgrounds had metal, and you slide down slides with metal. It burned. I was telling my daughter we would get on the bike and ride for hours, and our folks didn't know where we were, and we didn't have cell phones. So it was an immense time of freedom, and I got to explore. It was a time of NASA doing a lot of amazing things, and I loved science. And for me, it was a time of community. I grew up in a big family. My mother was the only child, but her mother was the oldest of 11.
Wow.
And so we spent time in South Arkansas, my dad's family in East Arkansas. I was riding dirt bikes, eating honeysuckle, and fighting grasshoppers and fighting off mosquitoes.
Real.
So all of that in the context of being able to explore and being able to try new things and a general sense of peace and community. I'm not saying everything was perfect, but it was a window between where we were, kind of post-civil rights, and where we are, kind of deep MAGA.
Hey, I want to just jump in because
Yeah,
I was going to say something, and maybe it's shock value, I don't know, but the whole time you were talking about it, you know what was going through my head, and this has a point because I want to talk to Zay and the guys about how they felt about their childhood. Because here's the thing. All I could think about when you were saying that is make America great again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't mean it what Trump makes it represent.
Yep.
But that feeling that you're talking about is what people, when the people are listening to say, make America great again, they go back to that feeling.
Yep.
And I'm guessing y'all have a time in your childhood you feel like that was the good old days. Talk about it. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
The good old days. I don't Oh, good old days. I don't know. I think it's when I started high school and when I started to explore things and wanted to do something more with my life than just sports. Yeah. Because ever since I was growing up, it's just been about sports. See if we're going to the NBA or not. And it's just when I reached high school is when I realized, like, I live in Arkansas, for crying out loud. I'm not going to the league. And I'm not reaching 6'3".
Yeah.
So I just had a reality.
I don't think that's an Arkansas thing.
When you think about it, I go to Mills, and Mills doesn't produce any basketball players. They produce good college football players, but other than that, there's nothing you can do with it. And so I decided to start exploring things. That's where I got into debate, theater, just everything. I tried to put my hands on everything, and when I did that, that's when I started to find my love for politics.
Yeah.
I wanted to become a politician. I had the set goal to go to college and get a political science degree. And then as I got older throughout high school, I started to love traveling. And I'm like, ooh, I love traveling. I want to become a traveling agent or something, or I want to become a pilot. And then when I went to Ireland and Scotland, that was peak life.
Yeah.
I know that's crazy to say, but it was just crazy to see how different Europe is from America. And I'm like, wow. And no taxes? Oh, that was beautiful. But one thing I would say about this year in general, part of my childhood, was meeting you during the NAACP convention. Even though I never had a genuine conversation back and forth, it made me really inspired to really try to be a politician and do what you did. And then having to go to Boys State and governor school and having amazing connections and friends, and see what politics is all about was really amazing. And I really want to learn from you a lot and just everything about it. So
That's what's up.
Amen.
I know y'all have something else to say, but I want to jump in here because talking about learning, and I'm inspired by what you're saying, Zay. But I got to call Rhone out. Rhone is a senior at Little Rock Central.
Yeah.
And he sat right next to me in the I'm going to get emotional. In the Capitol today and testified before our state house committee. and it ain't his first time to do it. And we were not on the side that was popular in the room.
Yeah.
And he got up to tell them why not to pass the bill
It's amazing.
that they passed. And he did it last year.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn the mic over to Rhone because I want Rhone to tell us about how he felt about today. But last year, Senator English just came down on him when he was testifying. The students at Central. And it went viral. Talk about that when you get the mic. And it went viral, and it started you down in Cherney, you know? And today, it was just exactly the opposite, and it made me feel like, no, that's what it should have been.
Yeah.
And shout out, even though we completely disagree politically, Rose stopped and said, I disagree with you, but I commend you. And he even when I was 18, I wouldn't even know any of this stuff was going on. But she was testifying before the House. So I need to that's my big shout out to Roan for standing up, stepping up. And hey, y'all are testifying before this thing's over. We're going to find the bill that impacts y'all the most, and I want y'all.
There's a lot of bills that impact. I'll be honest with you. After reading what Trump been doing and our own governor and stuff, I'm just It seems like this world is not going in the right direction that it's supposed to be.
So I'll keep things as transparent as possible. I cannot exactly remember a great time in my childhood. I've had a pretty troubled. Relatively, I've been economically well off, to be honest with you. My family is upper middle class. We haven't had many economic struggles, but in other respects, I've had troubles in my childhood. And what I will say is getting involved with causes and being able to actually observe the change that you're creating, even if it's minuscule, even if it doesn't compare to the larger changes that are taking place in our society that disturb all of us, it still feels good to know that you can make some sort of impact on other people. And I will say that 2 years ago, getting in front of Senator Jane English and being shut down and pushing back against her anyway with my fellow students and getting viral for it was a really big moment for me in a lot of different ways. It showed me some higher purpose that I didn't have before. It kind of showed me, because I had already known that politics was going to be a higher purpose. I had already known that I was interested in creating change. I had already known that I was going to dedicate some part of my life to trying to make the world a better place. But I hadn't really seen the results of it yet. And when I got the opportunity to speak in front of the Senate and speak in front of what became like millions of people, it was able to see that my action can cause change. It can create large shifts in how people view different things. And I think that I was just one of many different parts of the movement against the LEARNS Act. And being able to say that makes me feel like I have a higher sense of purpose. And it was definitely a big moment for me.
What about today?
Today, I'm going to struggle to not use any swear words here. I'm quite frustrated with what happened today. Quite frankly, I think that a lot of the people in that room were not presenting themselves with the utmost dignity. I think a lot of them are not genuine people. I don't think that they're faithful to themselves, their beliefs, or their people. And quite frankly, I'm quite appalled that that those bills passed and that the Attorney General now has the ability to declare the constitutionality of legislation coming from the people. I think that it is a massive step backwards, and I think that it is very foreboding for the future of our country and for the future of our state.
Yes, I totally agree.
The only real thing that was going through my head when Representative Rose told me that it was commendable that I was in that room is I felt a little bit relieved that that he was not angry with me, because I worry about people in positions of power being angry with me or anyone else involved with the cause. At least there is some veil of civility still left in our legislature with some people. I won't say all, but some.
Yeah, I would definitely say, looking at what we have now with everything going on, I do love thinking back to when I was a lot more woefully ignorant. I'll be honest. Thank God that I'm educated now, especially looking around. Thank God I'm one of the few. But, a moment in my childhood, definitely just every morning, this was like right when I was starting to get homeschooled. Elementary school, I grew up in Memphis. And once middle school came, I was like moving school. I mean, before middle school came, I was moving schools like every year. My parents were moving so often because my mom was a teacher and my dad was a hustler. So, our class changed very often depending on if we were having good days or if we were having bad days. But a simpler time that I think back to very often is just in the mornings where I would walk my brother to school. We would just talk and I'd have like Lil Tecca and Roddy Ricch just blasting on my phone back to back. And I just wasn't thinking about anything. Like, that was a good time for me back when I could just sit down and play Skylanders all day with my cousin. Like, that was extremely, like a very happy time for me. But more recently, I would definitely say a very defining moment in my upbringing has been the Boys State program. Going there and being able to garner the respect and admiration of people my age and being able to lead a way of thinking, much like my guy Rhone over here, was amazing. Like, I remember going up and giving a speech, making some jokes here and there, and I really just love trying to brighten up a room. But I remember after, dudes were coming up to me, my age, maybe a little, like, few months older, asking, hey, how do you talk like that? Or like, what are your opinions on this? Like, people were actually looking at me to find out, hey, how did you become who you are? And that was a very awesome time for me. And that was when I really decided, bro, I really want to try to be a part of pushing something. When we went to that convention that we met Grapit and
NAACP,
Dr. Jones at. I mean, me and Xavion, we were in a very similar type of mindset. When Dr. Jones, no disrespect, Jamie Scott, I saw you up there too. You got my love. But when Dr. Jones came out, we were talking. I'm gonna be honest, me and my guy Xavion, we were cheesing, we were tapping on each other like, oh my gosh, that's Chris Jones. You know what I mean?
In the flesh, in the blood, like all of it. It's just.
But yeah, I would definitely say those moments are what mean something to me. Those moments are what I look back on as what I hope to be able to match going forward in my life.
So it's interesting. I'm glad you jumped in because I was just about to say that was one side of the coin, and that the other side of the coin, which again I'm glad you jumped in because it was great to hear you all's perspective, is that in the 80s cities were being ravaged by drugs. In the 80s, kids were getting kidnapped. And one of my close friends, we were in Glee Club practice on Friday. Mm-hmm. Monday, she wasn't there. And she has not been found since, Cleshindra Hall. I lost a number of family members to my closest cousin and aunt to a drunk driver. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. I had a conversation with somebody a while ago talking about the good old days and talking about gun control. And it was like, oh, there was a time when you can have a gun in the back of your pickup truck and it was no big deal. We rode them to school. I didn't say anything then because we were partying. But what I remember in that era when I was a kid and guns in the back of pickup trucks was my grandfather, who had a third grade education and was a 18-wheeler truck driver. Mm-hmm. We were in his pickup truck. And all of a sudden, we heard and felt things being thrown at us, and folks were yelling the N-word at us. And I'm looking at him like, what you gonna do, Papa? Mm-hmm. And without saying anything, as they sped past, he pointed to the back of their truck, and there was a shotgun in the back window. So that's what I remember about shotguns in the back. And to your point, it's a very different memory. So when we talk about Make America Great Again, it is important to understand that a lot of people have the good side of their memory, but we also have to remind them that there's another side of that coin always.
Well, especially, and my point was, and thank you, well taken, everybody. My point is, everybody can associate to a degree. I mean, some people, like, I'm with you, Roan. I had great parts of my childhood. I was 10 years before you. I remember being in, like, 4th grade, and my dad brought this box home that we could literally put a bowl of corn in and take it out, and it was corn. Like, it was crazy.
exactly.
Imagine never seeing a microwave before.
First time. Yeah.
And I ate a bunch of corn. Like, I would never eat corn. Like, so yeah, but every generation, I mean, the 60s, there's a lot of people that go back and go, oh, that was the good old days. And I'm telling you, there's a large segment of the population that was getting beaten with bats.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
It's relative, but he has tapped into a feeling.
Yep.
And the reality is, we make America what America is. And as long as we keep having this division and this hate, we got to find ways to come together. Yeah,
we have to. It's a must.
But I want to say something and go throw it back to y'all, because I had another topic I want to hear about, because I'm bitter. I'm going to just keep it real. I was freaking in high school. I was like you guys. I did every club. I was in band. I was in choir. I played football. I was the class president, like all of the things. I didn't even get nominated for Boys State. And we had great.
Yeah.
I mean, our class was awesome, but I was just like, oh,
come on.
Like, I was hurt. Or governor school. I wasn't nominated for either. And I was like crushed. But all 4 of y'all were at Boys State.
Yeah.
So will y'all just give me 5 minutes of what I missed? You know, talk about, like, because I got to go. Chris invited me this year. I got to go to the one y'all were at and listen to him speak and experience. I was in the room with y'all with the energy.
CV Carvel, CV Carvel, CV Carvel.
Calls.
No quals around here. No, CV.
I love it.
Who's the governor? Xavion.
Colton. You know what's crazy? I had the pleasure to interview the past governor, Clay, and the new governor for this year's juniors, Colton.
Nice.
And having the pleasure to meet, interview them both was like an opportunity, which really made me go into the journalism field too. Yeah. Because I love podcasting. I have a podcast of my own. A little shout out to myself.
Yeah.
You can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts at X Convo. It's gonna have my name.
Nice.
But
I'd love to get on your show at some point, man. Let's do it.
Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing. It'd be a great opportunity.
Let's do it.
Okay. Back to Boys State. It was
Both governors.
right. Both governors. I had the pleasure of meeting them both, and they both were just chill, down to earth guys who just really cared about politics and really wanted to make a change, no matter how hard or difficult it's going to be. And I'm like, yo, it made me like, there's so many things I want to do in the world, and it's just like, you have to choose one or like a few. One thing I do want to be, I want to be a politician, a journalist, a podcaster, an influencer. Like, I want to be all of that. Yeah. But mainly politician and a journalist, because like those are like 2 of my passions, and that's what I'm really going to college for too.
Nice.
Go Bears. UCA.
Nice.
You know, respect to both of you guys. I know, once you spend time in a county, you've developed that kind of kinship,
CV.
you want to rep them everywhere. But I do want to remind you both that Sanders County did get County of the Year. Let's just sit here and look at the undisputed facts. Okay, Sanders County did get County of the Year. Big Sanders. Even though I'm not very fond of the person that we represented, but it is what it is. So I would say Boys State for me was super awesome because of the leadership discussions we would have every night.
Yeah.
Those were deep.
If you're unaware, every night before bed, everybody in your county, we would gather up and we would just get in a round circle and we would have a conversation about something that's relevant. And I think the biggest one for me, and I think Xavion too, because he wrote an oratory about this topic, was, should men cry? I mean, something so simple.
Oh, yeah, I did.
But it was just a conversation about, men's mental health in a in a room full of dudes. Everybody was expressing themselves, like giving their stories out there in a safe space, which I feel like out here you wouldn't get something like that. Yeah. And it was so nice, like, no names, but a few guys, they had to step out, cry on their own, and you know what? Other guys would leave the room to go hug and comfort them. And that was awesome. Like, that's something that I don't see. Like, as an 18-year-old, I've only seen my father cry once in my entire life. And I know, like I said earlier, my father was a hustler. And even now he's just trying to get through life the best he can. I know that he's struggling. And I've only seen him feel comfortable enough to cry one time. and that was when my grandfather passed. So, you know, being in a space where, you know, it was just that raw, that, you know, like it felt like a real family. In a week's time, I felt like I developed friends that were rivaling the friendships that I built over my entire high school career.
No doubt.
You know, it was something insane. There is one more thing that I feel like Boy State did give me, but it seems like you want to say something, Greg.
Well, yeah, I want to come back to you. I just want to say what you do now will influence the rest of your life. Because I had the pleasure of being on the inner circle. Chris invited me on the inner circle of his governor's campaign. What was it? Was it 9:50 at night? What time was it we met every night?
When that was what?
When we were running, you know, the nighttime. It was like 10 o'clock or 10:10. It was like we met every night at like 10:10 on Zoom. We all got on there. And it was the same type of thing. It was the release valve. And we were all in it together. And I wonder where you got that. You know?
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
No,
Goes all the way back, man.
Absolutely. The second thing that Boy State, you know, really made me happy for, which I also do want to say, just on the topic previously, I did cry at Boy State like 3 times around when it was about to end, because I was like, whoa, I'm not going to get this again at all. But the second thing was after I went to Boy State. It was when I went to Boys Nation in Washington. And something I was so proud of, made me very prideful in the state of Arkansas, especially again, like, I'm not even a native. You know, I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee. So, you know, my pride in Arkansas isn't from birth. We were the only state of the 49. Hawaii doesn't have a Boy State program for some reason. They're missing out. But that brought 2 black representatives as senators.
Wow.
Me and another student, Xavion Sims from Pine Bluff High School.
Nice.
Were the only state that picked 2 black men as their senators. And when we got there, out of the 100 people that were there, guess how many black people there were?
How many?
What, like 1, 2?
There was 8 of us out of 100.
Yeah.
Arkansas!
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
Now that's how you make a change.
Made me prideful, man.
Yeah. Let's make that reality.
So, I think it's undeniable that Boy State has these really profound and deep impacts on everybody who goes there. I'm gonna give probably my most nuanced position on Boy State, because, to be honest with you, there was a lot about the program that I did not enjoy, but then there were parts of the program that genuinely surprised me a lot and taught me a lot about people. I think the biggest thing, at least for me, was watching the kind of brothership form over the course of 1 week. It was only 1 week that we were there, and I feel like there was this brotherhood that formed by like day 2. Real. I know Qualls County is the county I was in. I can't speak to the counselors of other counties, but I can tell you that the counselors that we had, especially the main counselor, I can't remember what the title is, but you know what I'm talking about. Senior counselor, yeah. The counselors were excellent at opening up and getting people to open up. Those leadership discussions were some of the most sensitive and meaningful discussions that I've ever seen shared in between gentlemen. Men have a hard time opening up. I have a hard time opening up. I have a hard time crying. And when we were talking about the crying discussion, it was maybe the most vulnerable that I've ever seen a discussion between purely men. I won't, out of respect for everybody in the room at that time, I won't get into the details of everything that was discussed, but you heard stories from people who had never told their stories before. You had heard experiences that you really couldn't imagine or think of or comprehend by just looking at somebody. And the tears that fell down the faces of every person in that room were real. And I know that they're real because they're repressed every other moment of the day. I mean, you had gentlemen who walked in there agreeing that men shouldn't cry, that men should provide, that men should be always the protector and never the emotional, empathetic side of things. And those were the same men who later cried in the leadership meeting.
Right.
I mean, how could you not, you know?
It was an emotional time.
Alternatively, I will say, as far as the actual program goes, as far as like the political side of it goes, I think that there's a lot of shortcomings. I mean, we only had like 30-second speeches. It was very frustrating to know that like you really couldn't get your message out there, no matter how charismatic you were, because number one, the sound systems were messed up, and then number two, we only had like 30 seconds, 60 seconds max if you were running for governor.
And you were sleep deprived to hell and back as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Justice for Ganesh, and all his speeches. Man,
That's what I'm saying.
Justice for
I
Ganesh?
know
justice for
Ganesh
him.
very well. Well, not very well, but I follow him on Instagram, and
Oh,
he went to
me-
governor's school as well.
Yeah, me and Ganesh spent the whole month together in the same floor and everything at governor's school. Oh man,
It's
that
so
was a time.
It's so funny you says that because Ganesh is literally the guy that I beat to get one of my positions.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
No, he did actually amazing. No, justice for Ganesh. Man, that man is a monster in the debate room.
Man, I had to debate against him one time. I never felt so unconfident. but
I
confident.
leave.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to add a note. We need Ganesh here at
Oh
some
no,
point.
definitely.
Absolutely.
We need Ganesh here. At
Ganesh
some
would
point.
love to. He's very
Yes.
charismatic as well too, and he
Yes.
loves like getting into like bills and like. Man, he's a dog. I'm telling y'all. It's different student Congress when he was at the Capitol, straight dogging everybody. Like he knew exactly what he was talking about. The bills got his points all the way out of there. I'm like,
Have y'all ever watched the movie Judas and the Black Messiah?
I think
It's on my watch list. I love Lakeith Stanfield so much.
You really should watch it. It's one of my favorite movies. But Ganesh, the way he spoke, he perfectly emulated Fred Hampton and the way that he spoke and the way the Black Panther leaders would normally speak about different issues. I think because a lot of what Ganesh spoke about at Boy State was corruption. And of course, we couldn't really dive deep into political subjects. I think most people didn't even write speeches about political stuff. I mean, you guys remember the one speech the guy gave about money, and he ended it by jiggling his stomach.
he said my money don't jiggle.
I was
so hard, though. It was so
it
hard.
was so hard, but I was so angry because there was a guy, the guy that he was running against. Literally, he had 5 Benjamins, bro. No, he had 5 different types of dollar, and his whole gimmick was he get to the money. I
think his name Ben Benjamins.
His name was Ben Benjamins. That's why it was his thing. And for every dollar he had a pun on the president that was on it, and he would throw it out to the crowd, and the gimmick was so fire, and he lost to belly jiggling. Bro.
You cannot lie though. When he jiggled, oh my god,
That sounds like a governor's election.
That part.
one of
That part.
the best times because like I did my speech. I talked about Latinos. If you don't vote for me, you're not voting for Latinos. I was
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, look, let me throw mine out real quick, and I'm gonna have to go be a girl dad and get my girls from school to practice because I appreciate all you're saying. I totally agree. The thing that comes to mind for me from Boy State is that it does 2 things that I think are unique and that have been foundational for my life. One, it takes a group of strangers to the edge of a 40-foot deep pool and has you jump in the deep end together.
Sink or swim.
yeah, definitely.
Together.
Sounds like Super Summer.
Yeah,
I went to Washington. I was a counselor at Super Summer.
there you go.
So, and it's the same.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And you know, you have to work together to survive.
Right.
There's no shallow end leading up to it. You just go right to it. You dive right in. And I think the other thing is it's a helicopter ride. And by that I mean airplanes have runways to take off. Helicopters go straight up. And you go straight up. Like there's no runway. You just fly. And it helped me to learn to do that. To learn to be in a space with people who are different and jump right in, which requires trust. And it helped me to fly immediately without having to need 3, 4, 5 intermediate steps. No, it's a hard task, like running for governor. Go for it. Don't wait.
I plan on doing that one day. I'm telling y'all, like when I reach 35 or like have enough like political power in certain parts of Arkansas, I'm gonna run for governor one day.
Hey,
That's
get
my
to it. Do it.
So, this is a plug, and it's an invitation only, but everybody at the table has got an invite, and we're having a leaders summit on Saturday. And this isn't a workshop. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Kelly has been doing trainings and stuff from Alltel to Verizon to where she's at. And she was like, told me this is one of the best trainings she's ever put together. And we are going to attempt to do what you're talking about with grown people in a 6-hour period.
Boom.
We're about to do an experiential, pull people together, align for missions, and figure out how we're going to network and make it bigger.
Love it.
And we're going to do it together on Saturday. So I hope all of y'all can be there because it's going to be money. Chris, thanks for being here. Let everybody say bye or whatever.
Are we saying bye now?
Well, for me, I got to go. I got to get my girl from school before I get in trouble.
Oh,
Well,
for sure.
Dr. Jones, we will have you here again.
Yes, we will.
Yes,
Let's do it.
yes.
Let's do it.
It was definitely an honor to speak to you and get to know about your past and how it made you the person you are today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You know, happy Black History Month. We got a modern day Black icon on the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Appreciate it, man.
I would like to invite you back, and it's not a topic I'll talk on. This is the checkers part of it. I want to be in the room to hear about Black women love.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And I want to hear that perspective.
And
I know we can't right now.
Well, let me just end with this on that note.
Yeah.
But first, thank you. Thank you for having this space and allowing me into this space. And two, I'll leave with this. I believe in many ways it is a misnomer that Black men don't take care of their kids at an intimate level, and that Black men and women don't have a very close love relationship. Because I know countless Black couples that are deeply in love and where they both share the load in whatever way is appropriate for them. So I want to leave that and say that because I am living it and have lived it for 22 years.
Older than all three of us.
I know, man.
It is always a pleasure interacting with you, Dr. Jones.
Always.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Cool.
And these questions I have for you here, I'm bringing them back next time.
Bring them back. All right, we'll catch you.
Thanks. You can go over there now, Roan.
Okay.
So, hey, tell me what you're thinking. How do you feel? That's a pretty good start for a podcast, right?
I don't even know what to think. It was amazing. Like, I always wanted to interview Chris Jones for like the past year, actually, and actually to have at least a question or two to ask him and just speak to him and like have a genuine conversation along with people that I can trust and I also care about. Really is life changing, and it's just really a blast. And I really can't wait to do it again and hopefully in the future have him on my personal podcast where I can like goof off, have a little chit chat with him, and just get to know more goofy side.
Yeah, I kind of got a mirror with Xavion saying, like I was saying before, I mean, first time we saw Chris Jones in the flesh was
amazing.
When he was up on stage talking about breaking the barriers between the older generation and the younger generation. That's literally what we have going on right here.
You know, that speech that he gave about breaking that old young barrier or
don't
whatever
tell me anything
is
crazy.
when the three of us met.
Oh, yeah, that's just true.
And we all made it a commitment to do something together, and we have stayed in contact. We worked together. We dreamed of this. We put it together
to this moment right now. Like,
I mean, I guess in a way you could say that, you know, he takes a little bit of credit for, you know, what we have going on right now.
So, what's your thoughts, Roan?
I'm very excited to have him on again. I'm very pleased with the discussion that we had. I was prepared today to grill Dr. Jones about a lot of different political issues, not because I have anything against them. I actually really love Dr. Jones, and I think that the work he does is amazing, and his persistence is truly inspiring. But I am skeptical of the direction of the Democratic Party, and I think it is very promising that we have a candidate who's so directly involved with causes such as Dr. Jones, a candidate who's not afraid of speaking at local events around petition causes, even though he's not running for anything, even though he doesn't really stand to benefit that much from it. I think he's a very respectable man.
So I'm glad you didn't get to the part about the questions, because it did organically go how I hoped it would go. I'm glad it didn't get to the political questions. We can at some point with him. And I think we should, but I want this room to be more like it was. It wasn't about Chris. Chris just happened to be the person in the room with us. This show is about us, y'all. This is about us talking to the world.
Right.
And we'll invite people to come be a part of what we do. We get to own this. And I like the real conversation. I want to know who the people that come are, like who they really are, not what their stump speech is. Or
we were talking about this earlier with the representatives that we were speaking with in the House earlier when we were testifying against the 2 House bills that we did testify against. You do tend to see people, when you see them in real life and you see their mannerisms and you feed off of their energy and they feed off your energy, you get to know exactly who they are on I don't want to say spiritual level, but
guttural.
Yeah, guttural level. Yeah. And of course, it's not like you can just tell whenever anyone's lying and you can read anyone's expressions. It's not really like that, but you get to get a feel of what their essence as a person is when you interact with them in a very personal sense. And I think you really don't get that on the internet and television.
Right. I just want to talk a second about what we want out of this show. This is our first show. How do we want it to look? What can the people expect? And let's just take a few minutes and share, because what I think, I like the idea of having somebody as a guest and then letting them leave, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I like that too.
And like,
Yeah.
as Rhone was saying, keep it real. Like, not that I would not say it to Chris's face, but I don't want to waste the time analyzing a conversation while we have somebody here. I think we break it down. And we can do the first part of the show with whoever our guest is. If they stay with us the whole time, we'll just record the analysis next time and we'll put them together.
Oh, yeah. That's
That's
nice.
my idea, but we don't have to. I'll throw that out. What do y'all think? What do y'all want to do?
I think that's a nice idea that we can use. Personally, not like talking to people really. But personally, we can get the podcast started like we did today, and then they just come on in like, like Family Feud.
Yeah.
We need to use that music soundbite, I feel like.
Oh, I can put it on the board, and if, like, as someone said, dun dun dun, that sounds like Elvis too. Dun dun dun.
Right, and then they just come down here, introduce themselves with their what do they do for occupation, and why are they here on a podcast, and then we just dive deep into it. Like, I think that's a good strategy to use, and then after, once they leave for the short period that they're here on the podcast, we do a communal review on it, and then we sign off.
I like that. I like that idea a lot. I mean, preferably in the future, I would like to talk to people for longer than an hour, but I understand Chris Jones is a very busy man, so it makes sense that it was only an hour, but I seriously do like the idea.
And even outside of just Chris Jones, after, last time we got to talk, we were all pretty eager to get in the same room together
and do it again.
So I think some of that also contributed to it. I mean, we're growing closer and closer by the conversation. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the point of all of this. After all, I've gotten to know you, Roan, much better than last time we got to talk. And I've known Grap for, a few months now, but I mean, I'm still getting to learn stuff, and it's awesome.
For those of you who don't know, me and Chance and Xavion have not known each other up until the point where we've started recording this podcast. And our interactions have been very limited. I'm very excited to work with you guys in the future. Last time, we were in the car together. We spoke about things that you guys cannot know about.
Until we have 12,000 followers, you're not good enough to hear the real.
Like on the TikTok band where everybody like, so this is my biggest secret. I dropped out of college. Yeah, I'm not really a politician, y'all. I'm just a dude in my mom's basement.
I made it all up. I'm George Santos.
Yeah, it's all a mask. I would have got away with it from your meddling kids. I forgot to say it. I said it wrong. I love Scooby-Doo, y'all.
Bro, Dream asking for 100 million subscribers before he showed his face. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Just take off the mask.
Well, and I hope, as we start building this, I like the idea of doing it weekly.
Weekly.
I don't think we want to do it more often than that. But I think the more you do get to know each other and the more you get to flow, and we haven't even figured out our nonverbal cues to say, hey, shut the hell up, I want to say something. But all of that will come.
Well, maybe you haven't. I've been kicking Xavion under the table.
I thought it was by accident.
He thought you were trying to play footsies with him.
No, we're just going to do tech. Okay, out for 5 minutes.
Yeah, bro.
playing. No, tech. Oh, man.
So anyway, I like the format. I will I'm going to try to figure out something with our. Maybe we just do one of our walkout songs a different one every time or whatever.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
different. Each person has a chance to do the intro each episode. Like one episode, Chance does it. One episode, I do it. Then Rowan does it, and then.
Okay, who's doing it next week? Let's just somebody step up.
Dibs.
I'll do it. But he did say dibs first, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Xavion, you're the walk up, and it needs to be like a half minute to a minute.
I got that.
And introduce the show, who you are, who we are, what the flow's like, what to expect, and then we'll just pull that music down.
Y'all, I'm so ready now. My bad. I was singing. Oh, wait, am I doing the outro?
Oh, let's do an outro. No,
gosh.
you're doing the intro, so
Okay.
we're gonna put Chance on the spot. Is your outro the same song as your intro?
Everything's gonna
That's
be
the question. Yeah, we'll just keep it.
Gonna be all right. Do you hear me?
Right?
Gonna be all right.
Oh, and actually, All Right is a good one.
By
It's a
Kendrick
Kendrick Lamar song
Oh,
anyways, but
yeah.
All Right is a good song.
Oh,
and,
I'm telling you.
My bad. I just be coming up with ideas like mid flow. Like
we'll be cooking.
Tell you what, I like this part. So here we go.
A fight.
I ain't gonna say that. But no, every day is a fight, and what Checkers is supposed to be is a little bit of company in that fight that is life. So, I just want to thank all of you for letting us take the time to invade your eardrums, Hope you've had as fun of a time as we have here. Thank you for coming on to the Checkers podcast.
yo,
Banger.
Bang, bang. See y'all next week.
definitely.
We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.